Couple batches of articles for you, and the first thing we're going to start off with involves Grand Theft Auto 6, coming straight from Kotaku.com. Could pricing GTA 6 at $100 help save the gaming industry? Quick answer, no. Video games have never been more prevalent or elaborate, but the industry that creates them is currently facing unprecedented headwinds amid spiraling costs, intense competition, and stagnating player base. A new market analysis suggests that breaking the current $70 price barrier on games could help alleviate, I don't know how to pronounce that shit, but I know what the word means, some of the challenges, and that Grand Theft Auto 6 could be the one to do it. In 2025, GTA's impact on player hours and revenue will be mixed as it launches console only and severely cannibalizes hours and spend that would go to other titles, meaning that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's going to hog everybody's time up and everybody's money. Kind of like what I talked about on the stream a few weeks ago. That's why a lot of companies have delayed their release date until GTA 6 drops their release date, because they don't want to come out around the same time as them and then not make any money or get any attention. Read the slide from venture capitalist analyst and author Matthew Ball's presentation, The State of Video Games in 2025. But there is hope that Take-Two will price GTA 6 at $80 or even $100, thereby breaking a key price barrier, enabling the rest of the market to move up too. See, that's the problem. Not every game. First of all, we don't even know if we're just assuming Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be good. We don't even know if Grand Theft Auto 6, but let's assume it is going to be good, right? When it opens up the barrier for everybody else, that means you saw what happened with NBA 2K, right? NBA 2K was the longest for like 50, 60 bucks. Yo, shout out to Chris with the gifted subs. Appreciate you. For the longest, it was like 50, 60 bucks, right? Some games went to 70. They said, oh, our game's worth 70. Fucking NBA 2K has never been worth 70. Let me turn my alerts back on.
Wow, thanks for gifting that sub to the broke boy in the chat.
You can't give more subs than that.
Stop spending money on unnecessary shit, then that $100 won't be the problem. Last mass off. That's a terrible take.
I thought TBH was a capitalist. Why
Yeah,
y'all keep gifting
sure. Some people spend too much money on microtransactions or vacations or whatever you're frivolous with your money about. But like that take opens the gate for them to abuse their monetization program. So like, I think that's an L take. No.
Then it's a problem.
I don't understand this concept of like, when did y'all start dick riding billionaires and wanting to pay more for stuff? I make money. I don't want to pay $100 for a game. The real issue is these companies have this idea that every game needs to be 1,000 hours with all the biggest A-list voice actors and actors with their faces in the game. These Hollywood movie elaborate stories with a live service that's going to be supported over the next 15 years. That's the scale of games is the issue. Not niggas is broke. Like, that's a terrible take. The real solution is everything doesn't need to be a $500 million game, and then it's easier to make your money back, and then you could take more risk and be creative. What's wrong with a good 10 to 15 hour single player linear or semi open world game with a fleshed out story, amazing characters, amazing lore? What are you talking about? If you can't afford the $100, what are you talking about, bro? That was a terrible take. It won't be abused if you do it one time for something that is something that everyone is hyped on. It will be abused. These are you guys. Corporations love to abuse the everyday person. That's how they stay in fucking power. There's an article that just came out today that said that Elon Musk is going to have a fucking room in the White House. And there's a possibility for Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos as well. Now, why do you think that is? It's because you have that thought pattern. We love these rich people, and they sell you this dream that you can be a billionaire too. No, you can't. Just be a good consumer. Be it like, why would you ever want to pay more? Only if you can justify the price tag. But like most of these games, I'd argue most of these games can't justify the $70 price tag. Now, the counter argument to the also that I've made is it's not that big of a deal because most of you are not going to buy the game day one. But even still, for the people that want to be there day one, why do you want to go to $100? Yeah, America is an oligarchy. Why do you want to go to $100? There's no way you can defend that shit. Every game doesn't need to be. There's no reason why the city should exist in 2K. We just want a ball. You're jacking up the price for nothing. Is it time to suffer? Almost. Let's keep reading though. The prospect is one of the several factors Bald thinks could help contribute to the future growth of the gaming industry. See, that's another problem with capitalism too. Like, it's getting too greedy. At what point do you say enough is enough? What do you mean the growth? It's gaming, for those unaware, has already surpassed music in movies and books. It is the largest form of media consumed in the world. And they're still looking for growth. Statistically speaking, there's no way to make 100% of people on Earth a gamer unless you hit them with an infinite Suka zombie and brainwash them or some shit like that. But it doesn't matter how mainstream gaming becomes. There are going to be some people who are just not interested in video games. I mean, you see it all the time on fucking Twitter and other social media platforms. There are people out here saying they would never date a gamer and all this other shit, bruh. That's the fucking issue. They're always trying. At what point do you say, yo, our company's worth $10 billion? Let's figure out a way to just be good to our customers and try to maintain this. And, you know, if next quarter, you know, we get a 2% increase, great. But this idea that you can get a 20% increase in revenue year over year, it's not possible. There's not enough people on Earth. Come on, guys. Economics 101. Alongside things like PC gaming, handheld, the switch to new genres and franchising, the overhauls to mobile marketplace regulation, Take-Two might not need the extra money, but raising the price of GTA 6 could cover to other companies to raise their prices. Could give cover to other companies to raise their prices as well. The increasingly hollowed out middle ground could go from charging 40 to 50 to 60 to 70. So the reasoning goes. Here's another problem with them raising the prices to $100. That means AA game prices are going to raise as well. If AAA goes to $100, AA games like Flintlock or what's that one RPG? What's the recent AA game that I played? Give me some AA games that have recently. Sniper Elite. Metaphor is not a AA game, nigga. What? Metaphor is made by Atlas and published by Sega. That is not a AA game, bro. What are you talking about? Indie titles, yeah, it's gonna raise the price of everything because why? Rising tides raise all ships. Yeah, maybe Space Marines 2, Power World, those games that are kind of in the middle that they charge like 30 to 50 bucks for. That shit's going to 70 to 80 now. Yo, shout out to Master Please.
But it's still consciousness.
It's just it's fascinating to me that like I can't speak for the rest of the well, it doesn't even matter what the rest of the world thinks because I live in the US. But like half of the US population was just complaining about the price of eggs. And now some of you niggas in the chat talking about I would love a $100 game and if you can't afford it, you're broke. That's crazy. What are we talking about? We got to stop cheerleading for these fucking billionaires. Be a good consumer. Thought you niggas couldn't afford eggs. Metaphor is absolutely a AA game. Nah, that's a AAA. It's published by Sega. Guys, Sega, the same company that just released Sonic 3, was the biggest one of the biggest movies of last year. What are you talking about? AAA is determined by the budget. Sega is one of the biggest studios / publishers in the gaming industry. So now you're going to say Sonic is a AAA too? What are you talking about? They had funding, a lot of it. Yeah, Persona is one of their best-selling franchises. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, just say you didn't play it. Just say you didn't play it. What are you talking about, my boy? THQ dropped THQ drops a lot of AA games. Sparking Zero LL. Sparking Zero is a AAA game. It's a AAA game. Let's I don't know, man. I don't want these. Listen, I don't want to pay more for stuff. Where is this coming? I'm genuinely confused by this. Why would you want to pay? Y'all got to stop calling people broke. As a consumer, your only focus should be getting the best deal possible. That's how innovation is bred. That's also how you get the best deal possible. You put pressure on these companies. But the moment you take the pressure away from these companies, guess what you get? Madden, NBA 2K. Oh, Madden's a little different because they bought the license, but that's another reason why you don't want them to have too much money, because you could just go flat out buy a fucking license and eliminate competition. Yeah, slop. Too much billionaire dick riding these days. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. People will spend an extra $50 just because they said so. Yeah, not because it's the greatest game ever. It doesn't matter that they had $100 million people on staff and they've been developing the game for the last 10 years. It doesn't make the game better. You remember the launch. This is actually a great example. Cyberpunk 2077 is in a great state right now. It's in a great state right now. But let's not forget how it launched in 2020. The launch of Cyberpunk was a fucking disaster. And for those of you unaware, Cyberpunk 2077 was in development for like 15 years. The game came out. I was falling through the map, sound glitches, frame drops. The story, the ending was kind of mid to me. Gameplay was cool though. The gameplay was cool. That shit was buggy as fuck. It was blue screening people's PCs. Y'all remember the PS4 version? Hold up. Cause I'm finna cook you billionaire dick ride niggas. PS4 footage of Cyberpunk. Yeah, the T poses. Y'all remember this shit? Now, this was a game that was in development for like 15 years, and this is how it launched. This is the 1080p. No textures loading in. So because 100,000 people worked on this game for the last 15 years, you think you should have to pay 100 more does not equal better, but it's hard for some people to comprehend this because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people have never created things themselves. Half you niggas don't even take your own test. You be copying off somebody, putting your name on the test. This is crazy. This is a crazy conversation. I can't believe we're having this conversation. More does not equal better. You can fuck all the bitches in the world. You still will be empty on the inside because you don't have a proper connection with people. More pussy does not equal better. Maybe for some people, but for most it won't. More does not equal better, guys. There's a saying, literally less is more. Wait, niggas is hitting 1080p. Shit is crazy, and it takes to you in your midlife crisis for some of y'all to figure that shit out. Like, what are we talking about here? Again, not trying to be funny, trying to get informed. Best Buy had the GeForce 5070 for $559. That's a good deal. Yeah, the 5070 is a good value because apparently it has the same power as the 4090. Makes me kind of mad because I just got a fucking 4080. There's a reason nobody listens and watches me and I watch you. That's real shit. It's a reason you watch me. I'm just trying to get y'all a perspective. I'm not gonna lie, when you have that opinion that you want to pay more for things and you're clowning people because they don't want to pay $100 for video games that a lot of them are not worth $100, that says to me you ain't got no real bills, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that says to me you don't got no family to take care of. You ain't got no bills. You ain't like, what are you talking about, bro? Not with all of them, the AI frames. Yeah, the AI technology. So yeah, I guess that is warranted by how well that AI technology works. That's a marketing slogan. It only has the power of 4090 with the DLS. So my 4080 is still good then. Okay. Yeah, you on your parents' credit card, bro. You still trading in games at GameStop. I don't hear this shit, bro. Like, you want to give a corporation more of your money willingly? Yeah, you want to give them more power? Man, the brainwashing is working. The brainwashing is working. Let's wake up, chat. Let's wake up. We gotta do better, man. We gotta demand better from the products. And in exchange, we'll have a better experience overall. But I mean, I think that's why people are loving Marvel Rivals so much. Overwatch had way too much power, and because they didn't have any proper competition, the game went to complete shit. Marvel Rivals came out, and everything about that game is fucking better than Overwatch. That's why Overwatch's numbers are dwindling. That is why competition is good. Yo, shout out to Didi with the sub. Appreciate it. Yes, in response to the title. Yeah, shout out to all my Punisher healers. Let me get off this shit, man. Niggas with no credit history telling you how to live life. Yeah, I don't want to hear no niggas. Listen, if your credit score is not at least 700, we don't want to hear any financial advice from you. Niggas with a 400 credit score talking about, I want to pay $100 for Grand Theft Auto. What is wrong with you? Yeah, at least give me something worth the 70. Yeah, another reason too, before I get off this, another reason you don't want it to be $100, because like I said, most people are not buying games day one.
But honestly, there's only one ideology.
Shout out to Steez with the sub. Most of you are not buying games day one at $100. So if you on average do not buy most games day one, you wait 3 months to maybe a year, because what that article say, 60% of gamers do play games that are 6 years or older. If you're waiting like a year before the game, like the price drops, that $100 price drop is now going to go down to 70. Guys, why do you want to pay more? Versus if it launches at 70, when the price drops, it's going to go down to like 30, 40 bucks. Or a Steam sale, it might be $5. You see what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to Watts. Shout out to Watts with the 154, the big raid. I appreciate it. This is crazy.
Before Selena sees this month's bank
A
statements.
lot of people are waiting for Steam sales and have a backlog of 20 plus Steam games. The ones on PC, yeah. But that's not everybody. I still haven't bought Call of Duty. Game Pass, baby. Other article. Shout out to Watts' chat. We were just talking about $100 games. We had some people in here defending billionaires, man. It's crazy. You just remember this is how I'm gonna end this conversation. Those billionaires that you ride so hard for, just remember, do you think they would help you? There's a reason one of them got shot. No, he wasn't a billionaire. He was a multimillionaire. I've never been suicidal, by the way. You just remember, do you think Jeff Bezos, if you were dying of thirst, do you think Jeff Bezos was spitting a cup for you? I don't know why you... You ask yourself that question, bro. If that was your only option, I think I'm gonna keep it to myself. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, right? Like, I said I wouldn't want it. Oh shit. Anyways, I'm 100%. Next article involves the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm 100% sure they are really mad to the most severe level. Ex-Nintendo PR manager reacts to the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. That shit's funny every time you say it. You ask yourself that with Jeff Bezos spitting a cup for you if you were dying of thirst in the middle of the desert and his spit was the only option for you to survive. Jeff Bezos would say, fuck you. Like, anyways. Yeah, in regards to the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks, ex-PR manager Nintendo thinks they're pissed. The Nintendo Yakuza coming for y'all. If y'all out there leaking that Nintendo shit, you better be careful. If he can monetize it, yeah, he'll charge you 10 for it to get that spit. 2 former Nintendo of America staff have discussed the ongoing Switch 2 leaks, saying that they will have caused significant disruption inside the company and affected Nintendo's ability to surprise its fans. It's not a surprise. Everybody knows it's coming. Recent Switch 2 leaks have included the company's alleged reveal release date, games reportedly set to hit the next-gen console, and even mock-ups of the device. Meanwhile, if you haven't seen it, just look it up. It looks like a Switch. Meanwhile, images of the Switch 2's motherboard and Joy-Con have hit the internet, giving fans an idea of what to expect while also sparking further speculation. Nintendo has described mock-ups and leaked images as unofficial. In a video published to their YouTube channel, former Nintendo PR managers Kit Elis and Krista Yang discussed the likely impact the Switch 2 leaks will be having inside Nintendo itself, based on their over decade-long experience at the company and having to deal with the number of leaks at that time. LOL, it's surprising. I hear it's only a surprise. Did you see the billionaires that bought the water? Yeah. For those of you unaware, in the city of Los Angeles, there's a couple billionaires. It's a man and a woman that's married. They own 60% of the water in Los Angeles. Does that sound ethical to you guys? Come on. I don't see that. I want to pay $200 for Grand Theft Auto. Y'all broke. I'm 100% sure that they are really mad. To the most severe, Yang said. We joke around about the hot exclamation mark emails. They are hot, hot, hot. How many exclamation marks could be at the end of this? They are very, very, very upset by this. The pair went on to talk about the disruptive impact leaks have had on staff at Nintendo and suggested being dragged into an investigation this close to the Switch 2's alleged reveal will have negatively affected the staff's ability to focus on the launch of the console itself. Yang described a high-stress situation internally when staff are forced to deal with leaked investigations on top of their normal work. It's a highly chaotic situation in there right now and a real pressure cooker. They do have very good people who investigate these things, Ellis said. They will eventually get to the bottom of this. So if you're leaking stuff, if you're the source, the Nintendo Yakuza is coming after you. I do find it very fascinating that they're like, I get it. They want to be the ones to surprise their fans. I guess my counter argument to that is it's not a fair argument if most of what you've been doing is not a surprise. We haven't seen the Switch 2. We haven't seen any games. But if I could take a wild and educated guess here, we're probably going to get Metroid 4. We're going to get some new entry in the Mario series within the first 3 years, like Mario Odyssey 2 or something else. Going to get a new Zelda. If we don't, I predict we'll get a Zelda bundle. They're going to call it the Breath of the Wild bundle, where it'll come with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in HD, even though it was already in HD. But, they're going to remaster it. Yeah, maybe a new Smash somewhere down the line. They've tried to put out new franchises, but they just haven't hit. So, like, anything that they announce, I could argue it's not a surprise. We know what they expect from Nintendo. We're going to get a new Luigi's Mansion, Big Polter Pup. But like, niggas is not fucking with ARMS. Y'all remember ARMS? This goofy ass game? This shit was a dud. This is one of the last few new IPs Nintendo put out. Astro Chain was lit. That was one of the few Switch games I really loved. But I don't know if it did well financially. I don't know the numbers on that. But people not really fucking with ARMS. Astro Chain is a cult classic, but it didn't really hit the mainstream like that. Nintendo is trying. Nintendo is trying their they're trying their hardest to make Splatoon like on the level of Mario and Zelda, but like Splatoon has its niche audience, but Splatoon ain't it either. Sorry, we don't want to be a Squid Kid. I don't want to all over the fucking place. Sorry, doesn't interest me. So like when they say, "Oh, we're so disappointed with these leaks," it's like we know what to get from you guys. Now I could be wrong. Maybe they do come out and they have something new to reveal, but if that's the case, that hasn't been leaked. Whatever that, the only thing that's been leaked is like mock-ups of what the hardware looks like. So they gotta chill a little bit. I loved Astro Chain too. I loved it. Yeah, where's F-Zero at? Where the other games at, man? I hope with this news that means they actually have something surprising to show us. Because one thing I am concerned about with like Nintendo is Miyamoto is getting up there, you know. Knock on wood. I'm not wishing that upon anybody, you know what I'm saying? We love the legends like that. But the Nintendo Legends is getting, Miyamoto's like 70. I am worried about the creativity in Nintendo. In the long run, we need some new IPs. And if you don't want to do new IPs, at bare minimum, can we get a new Star Fox? Can we get a Star Fox Adventures 2? Let's go to Mars. With a butt naked crystal. With a butt naked crystal. It was the first article. It was for GTA 6. He said, "I need that." The leaked specs look promising. They look pretty good. And apparently, Amazon Italy leaked the release date of the Switch 2. Looks like Amazon Italy this is coming from the Leaks and Rumors Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. Amazon Italy might have accidentally leaked the release date for the Switch 2. If you search Nintendo Switch 2 on Amazon in Italy right now, one of the search results shows the Amazon page with a release date of March 6th, 2025. But if you click on the link, the page doesn't exist. Then we have a screenshot right here. See, that's the Amazon giant. It's in Italian. It says March 6th, 2025 right there. Which, if that's true, that is fucking crazy. You mean that you still use Bitly for short links? I do. If that's true, that they're going to release this on March 6th, we're 2 months out from the release of the Switch 2. We got to keep our eye on this story. This is crazy. There's a rumor that they're supposed to reveal it tomorrow. I really hope so. If you're watching this on Hokage Highlights, it's Wednesday. They're supposed to reveal it on Thursday. There's a possibility they could reveal it this week, and then we get it in March. But my thing is like, who's ready? To the guy earlier in the stream that was trying to defend the $100 price tag for Grand Theft Auto 6. This is going to cut into your ability to maybe even get a Switch 2 because you want to buy $100 games, bro. If you played 4 games at $100, you spent $400 on video games alone. All you people that complain about people who only play FIFA, 2K, Call of Duty, Madden, and Spider-Man 2, they're never going to play Baldur's Gate 3 now because games are $100. You know he's a PS4 player. If he's a PS4 player, he's on Fortnite. I don't even know why he's talking about $100 games. I just got a new job, so the bag increase got me ready, but we still don't want to pay for it. TBH, you plan on trying out the new Pyro Yakuza? It's a possibility. At bare minimum, I'll probably pick it up. I don't know if I'll be able to play it, but remember, take this with a grain of salt. None of this is confirmed. We'll keep an eye on this, though. Shout out to Short King with the sub. What games are they going to launch with the Switch 2? The rumor is they're supposed to launch Mario Kart 9 with it. And if it does, that'd be fire. That'd be a good launch title. That'd be a good launch title. We sipping. Anyways, remember where you heard it here first. Take it with a grain of salt, though. What up, Tony? More Nintendo Switch news. Pokemon Legends ZA isn't a Nintendo Switch 2 game, it's claimed. Pokemon ZA isn't being built to take advantage of the hardware improvements of the Switch 2. That's according to Jeff Grubb for his latest Last of the Nintendogs episode. Grubb said that when the next Pokemon Presents takes place, likely on Pokemon Day, All the games shown will be developed for the current Switch console. I did hear that everything in the Pokemon Direct will be positioned as these games are for the Switch 1. They will work on the Switch 2, but there will not be anything that is obviously made for the Switch 2, which is normal for the Pokemon company. Translation: the Switch 2 will have backwards compatibility, but do not expect improved visuals on these games, which is unfortunate because this is a new game in the mainline series, but then at the same time, they're probably doing this so then 2 years later, they can re-release it with an HD version for the Switch 2. Because remember, we've been talking about corporations all throughout this stream. There's one thing about corporations, they're going to find a way to nickel and dime you. And Luigi hat, polter pup loving ass niggas, they are very loyal to Nintendo. So if they say Pokemon ZA is coming out in 2025 and then we're going to re-release it in 1080p or 1440p in 2027 or 2028, they're going to eat it. They're going to eat it the fuck up, bro. They're going to catch all the games. Surely a more stable 30 FPS. I hope this shit runs well, man. Scarlet is on the verge of being unplayable. Yeah, the last one, I didn't play the last one because it got really bad reviews because of the performance. So like, that's another reason day one, I wouldn't buy this shit. And we talking about games being $100. Remember, they put out Tears of the Kingdom for $70 that's running on the same engine as Breath of the Wild. Why? The Switch is almost a 10-year-old piece of hardware, and people in the chat trying to justify knocking up the price to 100. Why? Tears of the Kingdom was just an expansion of Breath of the Wild. That shit hurt my eyes. That's why I stopped playing it. That, and I didn't want to be a fucking engineer. But that game had no anti-alien. I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of Tears of the Kingdom. I don't care how much y'all like that game. That shit hurt my eyes to play. Nintendo got to catch up. We need to get to like 2015 at least, you know? It's a wild work. Yeah, that shit was ashy, bruh. And it was really ashy when you put it on the TV. The best version of Tears of the Kingdom is on PC, allegedly. Because you could play it in 4K. Allegedly. Yakuza, don't come after me. So it's kind of disappointing that, like, if I was Nintendo or if I could advise them, I'd tell them, hey, delay the game. Delay the game and launch it on the Switch and the Switch 2 at the same time with an enhanced edition that takes advantage of the extra power under the hood for the Switch 2. The reason why? People fucking love Pokemon. It would move Switch 2 units. Not everybody's going to buy it day one, but if the best version of Pokemon ZA is on the Switch 2, more people will be inclined to adopt the Switch 2 sooner. I'm just saying. So delay it. Delay it 6 months, you know, and drop an enhanced edition. Guilty? Guilty is charged. If the Switch 2 now OLED, is that a step back? My gut tells me it won't be OLED. My gut tells me like 2 years later, they're going to release an OLED version. And guess what? Y'all gonna buy it. I never bought an OLED Switch because I was like, they didn't improve the hardware. Why would I want to play a game that runs at 5040p on an OLED screen? If anything, it makes the game look ashier. Now the ashiness is crystal clear. Like you ever walked into class and you seen a nigga with some ashy elbows, like just as clear as day? Like, goddamn, Ashy Larry. Like, you remember Ashy Larry? You walk into the classroom, nigga look like this, bruh. Be clear as day. I don't want to look at your ashy ass game in 1440p, bruh. We gotta step it up, man. We gotta fucking step it up, man. I don't personally care about like textures, like the game being the most realistic. That's not what I'm talking about. Me personally, I'm an art direction guy. I'm talking about like the resolution. That shit hurt my fucking eyes because there was no anti-aliasing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about textures. That's whatever. The PS Vita had an OLED. When did the PS Vita come out? PS Vita release date 2011. It was ahead of its time. I wish they would have supported this more. I still have my original joint. Then HD cameras were released and the new caster with all bumpy ashing. You can tell the makeup artist missed the spot. Missed the spot. What's up, friend? I'm joined by Akamaru with the dog. Very handsome guy. What else I got for you? We got some Marvel Rival news. The team wants every kind of player to enjoy the game. Marvel Rivals directors wants to foster a competitive scene, but not at the expense of fun. Yo, shout out to D-Nice with the sub. They said not at the expense of fun. This is why I think this game might be around for a while. One of the biggest problems I've had with a lot of games lately is they've been trying too hard to appeal to the sweats. And sweats in any video game are always going to only represent the 1%. You know the funniest thing? I had this epiphany today, right? When I stream Marvel Rivals And when I look in the comment section of any content creators Marvel Rivals content, people talk so much shit like you would think everybody's a grandmaster at this game. But if you hit Silver 3 ranked in Marvel Rivals, you are better than 72% of the population. That's not what I feel. It's what I know. Because when you hit it, it pops up on the screen. So by that definition, most of you are casual frauds. The point I'm trying to make is, I feel like a lot of these games, they focus way too hard on that 1%, those grandmasters that sit on Twitter and bitch all day. When the reality is, most of y'all are bottom of the barrel. You're the Punisher that's sitting on the turret, not paying attention as you're getting your ass beat by a Spider-Man. Okay? You said it deserves a double. Man, I'm trying to solo queue. It's hell. It's fucking hell. So like the fact that they're more focused on the fun, the casual, meaning the greater audience, that's good because you might appease a greater audience. When you focus too much on trying to appease the competitive scene, I feel like it kills a game quicker. And it also ruins the lower queues too, because in the lower queues, the fucking casuals will try to copy what the pros do, not realizing their aim is not as good, and you're just fucking the team up even worse, man. Let's see. Marvel Rivals hit the ground running at launch with 33 heroes, 7 maps, and even a tournament section for the homepage. Before long, NetEase has already set up and hosted an in-game tournament, and it looks like this is only the beginning of Marvel Rivals' journey to become a more seriously competitive shooter. We've actually been thinking about this on a broader scale, looking at the picture as a whole. Marvel Rivals director said in an interview with Metro, "We really hope that we do the competitive modes or tournaments. When we do the competitive modes or tournaments, they will coexist with our quick play. That's because we've been seeing a lot of other successful titles being able to pull off a competitive environment and a quick play environment both healthily and at the same time. We'll be taking a lot of references from them to ultimately let both player pools thrive." I mean, that's the gist of it. This is important too, because what I feel like a lot of pro gamers don't understand, they're so dismissive of casual gamers. In order for the pro scene to thrive, you need the casual scene to thrive. Do you know why? If you have, I think, I'm going to guess like nightly, there's 2 million concurrent players right now at its peak. If you have a player pool of 2 million concurrent players every night playing Marvel Rivals across all platforms, and I don't know, 10,000 to 100,000 of them are in Grandmaster and everybody else is below, that means you have a lot of people who can watch and learn from those high-level players. But if they only focus on what the pro players want, it's going to make the game unfun for people who don't give a fuck about... Because if I had to take a wild guess, most of you, including me, are just trying to hit gold so we can hit that skin. That's all. That's our goal. We're trying to hit gold. Anything after that, it's all gravy. You feel me? If you appease those people, then you have an audience to watch. But what happened, I think, with Overwatch, even with like some... I don't want to say League, but definitely with Overwatch, they were too focused on the pros, and a lot of other games failing to realize you don't even have an audience. You cannot, the needs of the many, yeah, Apex, they were too focused on the pros. The needs of the many will always outweigh the needs of the few. You have to keep that in mind. So I like that they're taking this direction. And you don't even have to lean too far one way or another. Just give something for both sides. That's all I'm saying. Give some for both sides. And stop listening to these crybaby pros on fucking Twitter, because a lot of their criticisms, when I criticize a game, it's more for like the greater good. A lot of those pros, they sit on Twitter and they criticize the game because it's what they want it to be to fit their play style, because they don't think outside themselves. They only think about what the pro scene needs. And we don't care that your eyeballs are damn near on the fucking monitor. We don't care. Yep, get that skin, LOL. If I get higher, I'll be satisfied. Yeah, it's not that serious. Yeah, it's self-interest. It's self-interest. So I like that they said we're also focused on making sure the game is fun. This is a superhero hero shooter. What else I got for y'all? Activision's purchase has not helped Activision purchase hasn't helped Xbox Game Pass, reports claim. Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard, I can't read. Activision Blizzard hasn't helped grow the Game Pass or the gaming business in general. According to a new report from The Information, the growth from the acquisition is yet to hit what Microsoft was hoping for when it made the $69 billion purchase. The information claims that Microsoft was hoping that the purchase would help convince more players to sign up to the service, as well as to push more studios to releasing their games on the subscription-based platform. Instead, their sources say that several leading game studios have resisted Microsoft's pitch that they should put their titles on the Game Pass in exchange for fees that Microsoft offers to pay the gaming studios, licensing fees. Denny Fish, a portfolio manager who oversees funds including a reported $800 million of Microsoft stock, told Outlet, Activision has been disappointing. Microsoft had targeted reaching 100 million subscribers by 2030. As of February 2024, there are 34 million subscribers, including those who became subscribers after Microsoft converted Xbox Live to Xbox Game Pass Core. Microsoft has failed to hit the Game Pass growth targets in the last 2 years. That has led to Game Pass growth being dropped as a metric that determines the CEO of Microsoft's pay. Listen, this is not a surprise. You guys paid $70 billion for Call of Duty. That wasn't smart. You know why? They should have tried to finagle a lower price tag. At least for me, I do think the Game Pass is good value. It costs $120 a year. Games cost $70. So if you get 3 games, if you get 2 to 3 games you want to play on the Game Pass every year, you got your money's back. And a lot of y'all are playing more games than that. So it is a good value, right? The problem is you paid $70 billion for Activision. And I don't know. They have a strong list of IPs, but they haven't been utilizing them, right? Activision owns Overwatch. You're not gonna make no money off that shit. You got Call of Duty. The problem with Call of Duty is it's on a cycle, right? People play Call of Duty for about 3 to 6 months and then they drop that shit. So if you played Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the Game Pass and you played for like 2 or 3 months, you probably turn the Game Pass off after that. They probably don't care about anything else. Would $100 games be on the Game Pass? Yo, chill. There's literally no Activision games on the Game Pass. That too. There's not enough of the Activision IPs. Like, let's look. Activision IPs. I think they just added Spyro. Like, where's Tony Hawk? We need some American Wasteland, Project 8. Put it on the Game Pass. Where's a better list? I think, is Diablo on there? I don't think it's on there, is it? Why they expect Activision's main player base is PlayStation, LOL? I don't think that's true. I think Activision's main player base is PC. Activisions are the creators of Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Hearthstone. What are you talking about, nigga? Activision Blizzard. I would mainly say it's mainly PC. I would say back in the day, maybe like the Xbox 360 PS3 era, you can make that argument. And like back then when like Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk was like big. But besides, like Call of Duty is like a console game. It's also popular in PC. But I would say the main audience for Activision Blizzard is PC right now. You said PS4 nigga in the chat. But back in the day, I would say, yeah, it was more console. But not right now, I don't think. What up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, they got to put more IPs on here. This doesn't surprise me. I think another issue too, and this kind of goes back to the conversation we were talking about with $100 games. At what point do these companies tell themselves, yo, there's only 8 to 9 billion people on Earth. Not every one of them is going to be a gamer. It's literally impossible to get everybody to subscribe to the Game Pass. And not only that, we also have to subscribe to Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. Some of you guys are probably subscribed to the Hub Premium. I don't know. OnlyFans. Everything's a fucking subscription nowadays. It's physically impossible to keep up with all these bills. I got enough bills, man. And the worst part about bills, it happened to me this morning. This morning I got paid, right?
Shout out to that nigga.
Yo, shout out to Majestic7 with the sub. I swear to God, true story, may God strike me down.
Real ass nigga for that, my
This
nigga.
morning I got paid. I'm like, oh, yes.
But honestly, there's only one ideology.
Within an hour, I got hit by like 4 different bills. There goes a third of my check. and that's before any of this was HBO and Max, bro. Sick of this shit. So, like, for some people, if I would imagine a lot of people did subscribe to Game Pass for Black Ops 6, but once they were done with it, because we're the Call of Duty cycle, people get tired of it. After like 3 to 6 months, they probably turn the Game Pass off. Most people are not subscribing to the Game Pass for a full year up front. I only do it because it's a tax write-off and I'm a content creator, but most people are not doing that. They got bills. Being an adult fucking sucks. Yeah, and the worst part is nobody warned you. Yeah, what check? Nobody warned you. Other Xbox news I got for you. Microsoft is now giving you a lot more options for repairing your Xbox. For all the people who drop their Xbox every 5 seconds or you pissed on it or something, I don't know. Microsoft has announced new options for support to repair your Xbox console. The first for in-person repairs will begin on January 20th with You Break, I Fix by Asurion becoming an Xbox authorized service provider at nearly 700 store locations across the US. The second involves the Microsoft Store, with replacement components becoming available to purchase online as of today. According to the blog post, these options include the Xbox Series, 1 terabyte, all the fucking Xboxes, we get it. If you prefer to order parts online, the components are available via Microsoft's online store as well as the Microsoft Repair Hub. So you can order the parts online and then fix it yourself. My question is, like, how many of you out there are breaking your consoles to where you have to bring it in? Because I'm not going to lie, no funny shit. And this could just be my personal experience. I've never had a console break down on me in my 34 years of life, except for the Xbox 360. And that's because the Xbox 360 had CPU overheating problems. Damn near everybody got the red ring. That was a big issue for Xbox. But for the most part, one of the beauties of console gaming is they're usually built pretty well. And if you take care of it, you clean it, you store it correctly, the shit just works. So I gotta ask, who is out there having to repair their... I've had the Xbox Series X since its launch. I haven't had any fucking issues, bro. Just wipe the dust off that bitch. You know, then again, a lot of PS4 niggas have roaches in their fucking fans and shit, so this makes sense. I gotta stop.
Every new follower reminds me of when my parents...
Stop letting roaches get in your Xbox. Stop letting roaches get in your PS4. Get you a little duster and blow the dust out the back of the goddamn console, your PC, like once a month, at least once every 3 months, and your shit will work fine. Wipe it down. Why do you have cum stains on the top of your PS4? Why?